Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts. And the subject you have before you, although slightly scorched, but no less lovely, is commonly known by its scientific name, Convallaria majalis, lily of the valley. Majalis. Oh yeah. Majalis, you are jealous, because I have Convallaria. It sounds like something you go to a clinic for. But anyway, I digress. This lovely plant here is best known for its use as a sort of ground cover. Up north, it's used as a sort of ground cover under trees because it'll tolerate the dense shade, which is amazing because there's not a long list of things that'll take shade. Well, let's zoom in a little bit for your enjoyment. And there we go. And also, what's interesting about this specimen, berries. Yay. This particular clump of them is mature enough to produce berries, which means at one point it flowered. And its flowers are what it's really known for. The sweet scent of lily of the valley is a thing to behold most certainly. You don't see them very often, but there are cosmetics with lily of the valley scent, which is what it's famed for. Its little white cream-colored flowers are also really pretty. It's up there with snowdrops in uses in the garden. Now, it's a non-native. It's actually native to Eurasia. It's hardy in USDA zones 2 through 9 and is classified as a deciduous perennial. However, I take issue with that. I have seen this thing remain evergreen up north. This plant has remained evergreen down here in the test gardens in zone 8A. So, the deciduous must be somewhere, but it ain't here. Soil pH is variable, actually. I did not find any specific numbers while I was researching this for this video, but I do know this. It will take general garden soil just as long as it's not overly constantly wet, nor is it of particularly poor quality. Now, in terms of illumination, it's partial shade to dappled sunlight. Dappled sunlight meaning the light that's coming through the canopy of trees, or something like that. So, it's a shade plant too. I would not put it out in full sun, or else you'll get the crispies, which we don't want. The pointy stick of destiny has strikes again. Anyway, its height will be 6 to 10 inches, and its width of a normal-sized clump, or an individual starting group, will be anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, which is right here. Now what will happen is this clump will vent in and new shoots will come out because it has a creeping rootstock, and it'll eventually get larger, but that 1 to 2 inches refers to the starting plant. And then each clump will add an inch or two onto it in ideally a circular way, but that takes time, which is why typically you buy these in bulk and plant them en masse, and then poof, instant ground cover. Now, it has some other names. Same first name, scientific first name, but it's also known as majuscula, and also Montana. Now, Montana I can believe, because Montana in Latin means mountains, and lily of the valley, well, what's between two mountains? A valley. Alright, and probably one of the first places they found it probably was somewhere near the mountains. So that makes sense. Now, majuscula, you got me. Done up. However, let's talk about this plant in garden usage. Now, I've mentioned that it's a ground cover, and that's great. It is drought, deer, and rabbit resistant. However, this comes with an interesting caveat. While its flowers are sweet, and they're the stuff of perfume, and they're pretty to look at, and the berries, I believe, turn red, which is nice to look at, too, there's just one little problem. Lily of the valley is very poisonous. No, like straight to space jail. I mean, straight to the hospital. You have to eat a bunch of the foliage to get this effect, but it is full of cardiac glycosides and saponins, which can cause a whole host of misery for you. So, do not eat it. Supposedly there are medical practices involving it. I don't recommend it, and if you're gonna, snort you some lily of the valley, I recommend you make sure your practitioner didn't get their certification off the back of a cereal box. Just saying. Well, anyway, that's all I have about lily of the valley, but if you have any interesting facts or information you want to add to this lovely garden perennial that is a relative of asparagus, please leave them in the comments section. If you like this video, hit like or subscribe. Hit like, and then if you haven't subscribed, it helps the channel. Hit up the blog. And as always, folks, keep them growing, and thanks for watching.